Well, thanks for joining us on this Thursday at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor alongside meteorologist Nathan Scott. And Nathan, the rain turned down the heat just a bit, but it's still a little humid outside. You can still feel it a little bit out there.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. We had a cold front make its way through yesterday. Ahead of that front, a lot of showers and storms, but it is all quiet out there across the natural state, and the temperatures are cooler. We've got numbers that have not hit 90 degrees as of noon. Now, we will see the temperatures climb up into the low 90s for this afternoon. A mixture of sun and clouds across the region. Your feels like, because it's not as humid, pretty close to the air temperature. The highest feels like 94 in Texarkana. Here's your 24-hour dew point difference. So it's just a little less humid out there, and you notice it when you step outside. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds through the rest of our afternoon. Temperatures climbing up into the low 90s for highs. That's where we should be for this time of year. Lows tonight dropping down into the upper 60s to lower 70s, maybe 64 for you folks in Clinton, 65 in Mena. And tomorrow it'll be a little bit hotter, but still not too humid. Temperatures climbing up into the low to mid 90s. Now the heat and humidity come back in full force for the weekend, and I'll have more on that forecast, which does feature the chance of showers and storms coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Well, new at noon, the Supreme Court handed down a ruling this morning allowing Idaho hospitals to provide emergency abortions for now. The court did not address the underlying question of whether the federal law trumps Idaho's law in certain circumstances, and in the case could return to the high court down to the road. But the ruling is expected to have implications for more than a dozen states that have adopted near total bans on abortion, including Arkansas. Now, THV 11 is your election central, and in just a matter of hours, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump will meet on stage for the first presidential debate of 2024. Jared Hill is in Atlanta with a preview, including new debate rules both candidates have agreed to.
Didn't take them.
Well, Vice President, no.
Can I be honest? It's a very
the unforgettable chaos of the 2020 presidential debates.
Just radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen,
It's what moderators hope to avoid tonight when President Biden and former President Trump go head-to-head for the first time in 4 years. Each candidate's microphone will be muted when it's not his turn to speak, and there will be no studio audience.
The audience at home is going to be better able to make its own judgments.
Kathleen Hall Jamieson heads up the Annenberg Public Policy Center at the University of Pennsylvania. She says research shows audience reactions can influence how at-home viewers feel about a debate, like this moment from '84's Reagan-Mondale debate.
I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Those who heard the audience laugh in response were more likely to approve of Reagan's response and to evaluate him more favorably.
Well, polls show that most voters are pretty locked in on whether they would support former President Trump or President Biden. Analysts say there's still something to learn from this debate.
A new CBS News poll finds some voters will watch to see whether the two oldest presumptive White House nominees in history have the mental and cognitive health to serve. 1 in 5 plan to watch because they're undecided.
I'm definitely planning on watching it and kind of hearing from both sides, how are they going to help the country and help the people.
Most Democratic voters want Biden to strike a forceful tone, while most Republican voters want Trump to be polite. Jared Hill, CBS News, Atlanta.
Well, set a reminder and have your TV set to watch the debate tonight at 8 right here on THV 11. Directly following the event, we will have extended post-debate coverage, including live fact-checking of the candidates' claims. We will also bring you a local news and weather update in between. A THV 11 update from Fordyce. The town's only grocery store in the scene of last week's mass shooting is working to reopen. The corporation that owns the Mad Butcher met with state and city leaders to talk about the importance of reopening the store. They say they're working to open with limited hours in the coming week. There's also just one hospital in Fordyce. Doctors and nurses at Dallas County Medical Center stepped into action when victim after victim was brought into their 4-bed ER last week. David Mantz, the CEO of the Dallas County Medical Center, calling the day all hands on deck. Nurses, physicians, radiology lab, housekeeping, and most importantly, the first responders on the scene all jumped into action. And while he is proud of his team, the day will leave a mark on them all.
It was a very hurtful and very terrifying day. The team did an amazing job, is all I can say. Very emotional. Our team lost a team member, and they had to treat that team member when she arrived. Probably 80% of the people on that team knew every victim that came in.
Well, you heard him mention they lost a team member. 23-year-old nurse Callie Weems died in the shooting. State police say she was shot trying to help another victim. We know the town will continue to deal with the aftermath of this tragic shooting, and THV 11 is working to put resources together and in one place. We have an article on THV11.com right now with a list of food pantries, some happening today, mental health resources, fundraisers, you name it. Again, this is on our website right now on the home page. Well, check this out. New opportunities for affordable home ownership is now available in Little Rock. City leaders celebrating the ribbon cutting for 3 newly constructed homes off Charles Bussey Avenue Wednesday. Mayor Frank Scott Jr. talked about the effort to bring homes to the area and how the city has surpassed their expectations from when the plan first started.
2 years ago, we set out to increase affordable housing here in the state's capital city. We had a 100-home initiative, as Director Howard has just shared. The announcement is we've surpassed it. Quite frankly, we're at 154 homes that the city of Little Rock has worked to develop.
Mayor Scott says that most of the effort has been in wards 1, 2, 6, and 7, an effort to rejuvenate the area south of 630 and east of I-30. And just down the road, the Little Rock School District cut the ribbon on the newly renovated Winthrop Rockefeller Early Childhood Center. The program has been upgraded to a new state-of-the-art facility that started just with a small investment from the school district decades ago. The center now offers 14 pre-kindergarten classrooms, 4 toddler rooms, 2 infant rooms, and several new spaces for exploration, discovery, and play for Little Rock School District families. And one of the most viewed stories on THV11.com today, an iconic dairy bar along Highway 70 has officially returned. THV11's Carter Thweet shares how they managed to reopen and the reaction from those who stopped in for a treat.
For nearly 60 years, the Cream Castle was a popular stop for those going to and from Hot Springs, until it closed at the end of last summer.
We were upset. This was our normal stop.
When one of the original owners passed away, the castle stopped selling its burgers, hot dogs, and famous milkshakes. That is, until this summer, when Heather and Ray Queen, who run another dairy bar in Benton, decided to take over.
He decided to lease it out here not too long ago, so we come and hollered at him about it.
That led to Wednesday's grand reopening, which saw longtime customers braving the rain to be there at 11 a.m.
We're excited. Hopefully we get our good milkshakes again.
There were also some who hadn't been before, but heard the hype and wanted to see what it was all about.
We're doing a job down the road there, and we seen the sign this morning at 6 o'clock we was coming through, so we decided we'd stop here and try it. Since we're working down the road, we're gonna try it all the time.
Queen said seeing the reactions to the castle's reopening has made him even more determined to make it great.
The people that are really excited for this place to be open, and we're excited for them because we're gonna make it good.
And the good people here at the Cream Castle did promise me a free ice cream next time I'm here, so I might just have to take them up on that one of these days. But for now, in Benton, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
We're all trying to find ways to stay cool, but what are the best ways to beat the heat while also saving some cash? Our Verified team shows us after the break.
And we're seeing a little bit of heat relief and relief from the humidity, at least the extreme side of it, but we'll see temperatures back up into the upper 90s this weekend with those feels like numbers above 100. More on that forecast coming up.